This is a symbol that we know well. It's a symbol, ironically, of both death and of life. It's a symbol that Jesus speaks about in Matthew 16:21-28. And in that section of the gospel that we focused on this week, we heard Jesus rebuke Peter, saying to him, "Get behind me, Satan," because Peter wanted to somehow diminish and even abate the mission that Jesus was on. And Jesus knew that the kingdom of God looked a lot different than any of his disciples thought it would. They thought that it might be about power and overtaking the Roman Empire and righting all the wrongs of the world. But Jesus knew that the kingdom of God was not about power. It was not about wealth. It was not about influence. It was about self-denial and laying down one's life in order to find new life. And so he told them, if anyone wants to really follow me, really be my disciple, then they'll have to take up their cross and live a life of self-denial and then follow me. He tells them that a life of faith and discipleship would not be what they expected it to be, that it would be tough, that there would be persecution and even death. And I have to believe that those words to them felt like a kick in the gut. I have to think that it was not at all what they expected. And I bet they thought, this isn't what I signed up for. And in that message, oddly, I find a perfect metaphor for 2020 in this time of pandemic. I find the perfect metaphor for life right now, that if we had been given all the info that we have now at the beginning of the year, I don't think we could handle it. I don't know what our emotional and mental state would have been if we had been told how long we would have to endure this pandemic, how many things we would have to modify, and all that we would have to give up and lose. But in life and in faith, we are called to give up, to sacrifice, to lay down our rights and even our life in order to find new life. Right now in this pandemic, we are being asked to modify everything we do for the good of humanity in order to gain health and life. And in faith too, Jesus asks us to live a life of sacrifice and self-denial in order to find something more abundant, something that we can't even fathom. Jesus modeled for us a life of serving others and putting others' needs ahead of his own. And that life is not easy. It is a rocky, uncertain path, much like the path that we walk now in 2020. But then, as now, we do not walk that path alone. God walks with us along the path. The Spirit of God is within us, helping us to endure, helping us to live that life of self-denial and taking up one's cross. And so may we go with that knowledge that God does walk with us. May we go in the hope that no matter what uncertainty that we face, God will help us to endure. May we all believe that. May we go with that knowledge and hope of God with us today, tomorrow, and every day ahead. This is not an easy path to be on. The life of faith and discipleship is not an easy path to walk. But again, we don't walk it alone.